Switching now to campaign 2018 news. In the race for governor, many promises are being made. Democrat Ned Lamont wants to lower property taxes. Republican Bob Stefanowski has an even bigger plan to eliminate the state income tax. Tonight we look at other states that have cut taxes to jumpstart their economies and what some are calling failed experiments. Our chief Capitol reporter Susan Raff has been doing this. She's live now at the state capitol in Hartford, the Legislative Office Building. And Susan, what did you learn?
Dennis, we all know that Connecticut's economy could certainly use a boost, and who would not want to stop paying their income tax? But in at least one state, getting rid of taxes not only didn't help, it hurt.
Connecticut's next governor, whoever it is, will have a tough job ahead. The state faces billions in deficits and needs many more jobs.
I fundamentally believe the way we get there is lower taxes, get this economy moving. In the medium term, it's going to get more revenues coming in, and we're going to use that to fund education and health care.
Republican Bob Stefanowski is promising to get rid of the income tax, the estate tax, and lower the corporate tax. But if you look at Kansas and Wisconsin, tax cuts have not worked. David Cadden is an economist and former professor at Quinnipiac University.
The cuts were so bad, and they failed to deliver on the three areas that they promised, which would be increased jobs, increased population, and increased disposable income.
In a number of articles in Forbes magazine and the Brookings Institute, Kansas's experiment with tax cuts is called a failure. After the Republican governor reduced income taxes and cut many kinds of tax on business income, the Republican-controlled legislature eventually repealed those cuts. Wisconsin also cut taxes, and the results were not as positive as some predicted.
They all collapsed. It had devastating effects in particular areas of Kansas, particularly education.
Cadden says there were cuts to public schools as well as higher education. Stefanowski says before the income tax was instituted in 1991, we had the fastest growing economy in the nation. Now our economic growth is near the bottom of the barrel. It isn't realistic to compare us to an economy which doesn't remotely resemble ours. Business leaders say they welcome a tax cut, but have concerns about huge deficits Connecticut faces and what the fallout could be. The Connecticut Business and Industry Association says companies also want better transportation, affordable housing, and a skilled workforce.
For most business people, they really look at the overall picture here. It's not just taxes, it's not just affordability, it's a combination of everything.
So it was nearly 30 years ago that Connecticut instituted the personal state income tax, but at the time, Connecticut had the highest sales tax in the country, and that was not the only thing. It had the highest state sales tax in the country, plus the corporate tax rate was double pretty much what it is today. We're live in Hartford. Susan Raff, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.